boy emerges from a shaft entrance at the Panique mine with a 50-pound sack of ore. This young boy is forced to haul heavy sacks of cocoa pods in the sweltering tropical heat for up to 18 hours a day. No laws protect this child from the daily dangers of unsafe machinery in this textile factory. Is this young boy even old enough to understand killing? Children like these who are engaged in child labor are put through an awful ordeal. Millions of children around the world are involved in grueling and dangerous forms of labor, even though many organizations are in place to help diminish the issue. As teens, our efforts can be very powerful, and I believe that we must educate ourselves so we can help. Child labor has been used in varying degrees throughout history. With the rise of household income, availability of schools, and passage of child labor laws, the rate of child labor fell in wealthier countries. However, in developing countries that have high poverty and limited schooling opportunities, child labor is still common. The origins of child labor are connected to poverty and lack of schools, and for most impoverished families, sending their children to work is a necessity for survival. Until we find a way to reduce poverty, child labor will continue to be an issue. Young children may be desirable as workers because they will labor for very low wages and can be sent into cramped or dim spaces too demanding for adult laborers. Children are exploited, forced to toil for long hours, and often make as little as 3 cents a day. An estimated 150 million youth worldwide, ages 5 to 14, are engaged in child labor. This is about 15% of all children in this age group. They are classified as child laborers when they are either too young to work legally or are involved in hazardous activities that may compromise their physical, mental, social, or educational development. Since the 19th century, laws aimed at restricting child labor have been continually getting stricter in wealthy countries. As a result, the rate of child labor in the developed world has gone down tremendously. However, in poor countries, the child labor rates remain high. In the 1990s, the United Nations began to address child labor worldwide through an international law called the Convention on the Rights of the Child, adopted by 193 countries. In addition, the UN initiated the International Program on the Elimination of Child Labor, the largest program of its kind in the world. Despite the actions of these and other agencies, there are many remaining obstacles that prevent child labor rates from falling. For example, boycotting products manufactured through child labor may force children to switch to more dangerous occupations, such as prostitution or agriculture, rather than helping them. Teens and other young individuals have the power to influence and inspire adults. Teens can and should raise awareness, beginning with parents and other adults that they encounter in their everyday lives. Educating people about the industries that use child labor can be an essential starting place. We can then encourage friends and family to stop purchasing products that are made using child labor and to demand laws to protect them from the more dangerous forms of child labor that they might otherwise be forced into. If enough people come together to boycott goods and call for protections, teens can use economic influence to lead to change. Child labor is a much larger problem than most people realize, and the world needs an abundance of people to take action. The consequences of child labor are long-lasting. Youth that are involved at an early stage in their lives are forced to give up their education, which deprives them of a bright future. As fortunate and privileged young people who live in a wealthy society, we are obligated to take some responsibility for this global issue. Become informed. Learn about which corporations have used child labor to earn larger profits, and then stand up even if it feels like a sacrifice. This problem will not improve if no one is willing to give up anything.